Hey, move those routers there. Oh, hey, it's me, your data center. And as you can hear, I'm making some big changes in here because AI is making some bigger ones everywhere. So I took a little trip to Nokia. Super fast routers, optical interconnect, fully automated, the whole data center networking portfolio, and they deliver. That's them. Hey, Nokia, right on time.
Get your data center AI ready. Someday is here with Nokia.
Welcome to IGH Going Rogue. Today is Monday, March the 10th. And if you guys have been following the news today and over the weekend, you've seen all kinds of things happening out in the Middle East, Syria, Iran, the president talking about it, Secretary Marco Rubio putting out a statement yesterday on X. And today's also my 30-year anniversary. I can't believe my wife has had the patience to put up with me for 30 years, so I'm eternally grateful to her. We have Ron Aledo joining us today with his Monday Intel report. Nobody more qualified than him to talk about the atrocities that are happening in the Middle East. Mr. Producer, why don't you run one of those videos to set the tone correctly?
Now today's other top stories. Global calls for peace in Syria today after the deadliest weekend since the fall of Assad. More than 1,000 people have been killed in clashes between forces and supporters of the country's new government.
All right. So, Ron Aledo, walk us through what's going on in Syria. It's a disaster. We've seen some pretty heinous videos of people being lined up and killed and shot in cold blood.
Listen, I just want to remind everyone here the situation we had like 15 years ago, maybe 14 years ago, 13 years ago, when the United States, I'm talking about 2012, 2013, 2014, when ISIS, the Islamic State, was very, very powerful, both in Syria and Iraq, in northern Iraq. I don't know if you can remember all those massacres, those terrible views of decapitations, of killings, assassinations. Those were terrible. Now, let me tell you what the policy of the Obama administration was at that time. The official policy of the United States of America, and when I say United States of America, I'm referring to Barack Obama, Barack Hussein Obama, and Joe Biden, the vice president of the United States by then, was this: if I am an Islamic radical terrorist, Al Qaeda or Islamic State, and I am this side of the border in Iraq, I am a terrorist. But if I, same person, I am in this side of the border in Syria, I was a freedom fighter.
Yeah.
I was a fighter for democracy and freedom.
Yeah.
So I am here in Iraq, I am a terrorist. Oh, I'm going to Syria now. I crossed the border. So I am a freedom fighter. I am a rebel, the position. Oh, damn, I forgot something in Iraq. Let me go back to Iraq. Let me get my book. My book.
Yeah.
Now I'm a terrorist.
No.
Now I have my book. Let me go back to Syria. Oh, now I'm a freedom fighter. It was schizophrenic, okay? It was completely nonsense. And what we see today is the result of those years, period.
Yeah.
Barack Obama and the policies that he engaged back in 2010, 2011, 2012, those years were the foundation of the policy that we see today.
Let me ask you a question, Ron, real quick. The Obama administration was financing these people as freedom fighters. Is that correct, or is that not true?
That's true. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Listen, we need to understand something. We need to understand that sometimes our policymakers have no brain. Okay.
Yeah.
We need to understand that. Okay. And they do the most stupid things, and they do the things out of passion and ideology, blind ideology, and fanaticism, but without really thinking on long-term consequences and a strategic level consequence. Okay?
And that's because they wanted to take out Assad, right? They wanted to take out Assad. So they're funding the same people that are killing our soldiers in Iraq.
Yes. And this is the deal. They create a narrative that is 100% false. Okay? And anyone who knows a little bit about the history of the area, who knows about the reality on the ground on the area, knows that is bullshit. Okay, everybody knows that bullshit.
Yeah.
But sadly, when they create this bullshit narrative, it's not designed for the few people who knows what's happening in the area, or the few people here in the United States or Europe that have been in the area, knows the area, know the history of the area. They create a false bullshit narrative for the masses, for John Doe, for the people who have never been in the area, have never studied the area. So that's why they create this bullshit narrative. And the narrative was, there is a brutal, savage dictator called Bashar al-Assad. He's a dictator. He's a pro-terrorist. Actually, he's a radical Muslim. And then there are some freedom fighters, democracy fighters, Robin Hood kind of guys, and we need to support those Robin Hood kind of guys that are fighting for democracy and for freedom and for justice and liberty. So we're going to send hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to those freedom fighters. That was the narrative, and obviously, again, Obama was saying it, Biden was saying it, and all the parrot propaganda media was repeating. Was saying again and again. So people who doesn't know better, okay, let's believe this bullshit that they didn't know that was bullshit. Okay, now the reality is the government of Syria was a coalition, a government coalition. Okay, made of Alawites. Alawites is a different section from the Shias, from Christians. I'm talking about Melkite Christian, Catholics. I'm talking about Greek Orthodox. I'm talking about Maronite Catholics, Christians. 10% of the population in Syria is Christian. The Druze minority, that is a minority of a different sect over there, and the Shias. So those four, mostly the Alawites, that the Bashar al-Assad was an Alawite.
Yeah.
The Christians, very strong position, the Druze and the Shias. That was the coalition. And they were trying to keep a hold of the big Sunni population that were very, very, very much pro-Al-Qaeda, pro-Islamic State, jihadists. That they were completely intolerant with religions and with all minorities. They were natural-born killers. They were the same people that went to Iraq to kill U.S. soldiers.
Yeah.
From 2003 to 2011, they were volunteers killing us over there because they were fanatical, Osama bin Laden kind of mindset, and then once they had the opportunity, thanks to Obama, to kill Christian Syrians and Alawite Syrians and the Bashar al-Assad government soldier, they went to Syria. And then Obama began to send millions and millions, and the CIA, there are open sources about this, the CIA helping. Tulsi Gabbard Tulsi Gabbard, today's National Director of Intelligence, she announced that years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And there are a lot of reports and news that say that the CIA was helping these terrorists because they were portraying themselves. Oh, we're freedom fighters. We want democracy and elections every 5 years, and women's rights and elections and a Congress and democracy. Bullshit. As soon as they get the money, as soon as they get the weapons, they remove
The map.
Hey, move those routers there. Oh, hey, it's me, your data center. And as you can hear, I'm making some big changes in here because AI is making some bigger ones everywhere. So I took a little trip to Nokia. Super fast routers, optical interconnect, fully automated, the whole data center networking portfolio, and they deliver. That's them. Hey, Nokia, right on time.
Get your data center AI ready. Someday is here with Nokia.
man. And Allah Akbar, and let's gonna kill everybody who is not a Sunni jihadist Salafist. That's it.
That is insane. And I know that's why you like Tulsi so much, because she was calling a lot of this bullshit out a long time ago. You've done a couple tours out there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it? How many tours? Where'd you go? Afghanistan, Iraq? I don't know.
I did 4 tours in Afghanistan, 1 in Iraq. And obviously, I have been traveling through the area, Kuwait, Qatar, Dubai, several times, many times. And I have talked to the people in the area. I have, part of my jobs in Iraq was to send some people to Syria when I was over there. So I understand the area very well, and I have been studying when I was active duty in the Army also. Ever since 2000s, the early 2000s, that was one of my areas of specialty. Listen, the deal is the government of Syria was secularist. They were under the Ba'ath Party, and that is called the Arab nationalistic socialism. But that sounds very ugly here. But in the Arab world, that sounds actually very positive, because they are not in this Marxist, communist kind of socialism. It's a nationalistic way of government, centralized government, but very secular. They did not support any kind of religious extremism over there. To the contrary, they were trying to build coalitions of the different minorities, non-extremist minorities, like the Christians, like the Alawite, like the Druze, like the Shias. And they were trying to be a very open government. And Bashar al-Assad himself, he was not involved in politics. He was in London. He was an eye doctor. He studied in London, in England. He wants to make a medical career, studying, very Western. His wife, a Western woman, London, British origin, he was over there. But his bigger brother, his elder brother, died in a car accident. And then his father was dead. His elder brother, who was supposed to have the government die in this car crash, and then he's called by the Alawite minority and the Christian minority. We want you to become the president. So he reluctantly abandoned his medical career and studies in London, in England, and goes over there and formed this government. And it was working very well until Barack Hussein Obama decides to destroy him. And remember, this is the time of the so-called Arab Spring.
The Arab Spring, yeah.
It was bullshit, okay? Absolute bullshit. But Barack Obama wants to destroy him at all costs, period. That's it. And remember, the United States had an embassy over there in Syria. We have diplomatic relationship for him for years and years. His father sent a coalition with George Bush the first. He sent a coalition, an army, to liberate Iraq in the First World War in 1991. He was working with the United States. We have a working relationship. We have diplomatic relationship. But Barack Obama did not like that. He wanted to destroy Bashar al-Assad, and then he began to send weapons to these savages that were depicting themselves as democratic fighters, freedom fighters. But still, Russia came to save Bashar al-Assad and to save Christians, because at that time, 2014, 2015, they were massacring a lot of people. And I don't know if you want to show some of the video, but they were doing crucifixion. They were doing mass killing. They were doing a genocide, mass execution. And then Russia came, no, let's go and stop this. And he sent, Putin sent the Air Force over there, the Russian Air Force, and saved the government of Bashar al-Assad. But that did not stop, obviously, Biden. Biden came back to power in 2020, and he was also obsessed, like he was as vice president of Barack Obama. Now he continued with the policies of Barack Obama, and he wanted to destroy him. So what he did, he worked out a deal with Turkey. And then, obviously, most likely, Biden gave hundreds of millions of dollars to Turkey, who is a nationalistic, Sunni, religious government, contrary to Bashar al-Assad. And he trained for years these so-called rebels, ex-Al-Qaeda. I mean, the ex-Al-Qaeda, nothing, they are still Al-Qaeda. And then he trained them, he gave them weapons, artillery, everything, and then he launched a surprise attack a few months ago, and they do a blitzkrieg, and they take the country. Bashar al-Assad have to run away and escape the country.
And he's in Russia, right? He's exiled in Russia.
He's in Russia right now.
Yeah.
Then the leader, there was a 10 million bounty. The United States government placed a $10 million bounty for this Al-Qaeda terrorist with American blood on his hand. But because now he's the new leader of the government, and he did what Biden wanted to do, was remove Bashar al-Assad to hurt Russia, among other things. Now the United States Biden removed the $10 million bounty and removed him from the terrorist list. Okay, that was a man who have killed I don't know how many hundreds and thousands of people. And then the guy goes to Damascus, and he dresses and he make up like Zelensky. I mean, you have to see the pictures. It's amazing, with the same beard, the same jacket. I am Zelensky Part 2. I mean, it was laughable. I mean, you can laugh. The guy was dressed as Zelensky, like in a custom party. Okay, I'm Zelensky Part 2. Somebody told him, listen, stop. Everybody's laughing at you because you're obviously looking exactly like Zelensky, with the same sweater, with the same shoes. Stop it.
That's amazing.
So he dropped the Zelensky outfit, and now he wears a jacket some way, somehow. And people try to recognize him as the legitimate government of Syria. And now he promised that he's not a radical anymore. BS. He can, because the press is there and because the media is there, he can control a little bit his followers in Damascus, in the capital city. Yeah. But there are many areas of the country he doesn't control.
And we have some videos. We have some videos of that, right?
He cannot have the same power over his followers that are Al-Qaeda, that are Islamic State, that are radical Muslims. And these guys in the countryside are doing the massacres and the genocide that we saw this weekend. They are killing Christians. They are killing all the otherwise minorities. They are killing Druze. They are killing Shia. So they are doing massacres. There are over 1,000 killed, and you can see the videos, how brutal, how savage these guys are. They are just killing everyone.
Mr. Producer, I think you have some videos. If you want to tee them up for Ronnie, let's go.
The celebration, victory, and a lot of brutal videos that came this weekend. They were hitting people. They were hitting girls. They were hitting and shooting small children. They were shooting women. They were shooting everyone. They were torturing them, making crawl like animals on the ground, and then shooting them. They were crucified. They crucified some people, and they shoot them while they were crucifying them. So that is the brutal reality that we saw this weekend in Syria.
Yeah, we're seeing there in Damascus, people running down the street, gunfights. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. In the Meza neighborhood in Damascus. And you got some other videos where people are being lined up and shot, I think, right? Or pictures.
I'm sorry?
I think so.
Yeah, let's see what else he's got. He's got some pretty graphic videos and pictures. Look at that. That's what you're talking about, the they're hitting people. Look.
Yeah, and that's a soft video. Were other many brutal videos of shootings and executions.
Yeah.
Anyone that is not a Sunni, remember,
Mute it.
everything is ethnicity and religion in the Middle East. That's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you are a Sunni Muslim and you are a fanatical Sunni Muslim, you're Al-Qaeda sympathizer, Islamic State sympathizer, everybody who is not a Sunni Muslim like you is an enemy of God that you should kill and you should torture. And that's it. That's jihad. That's holy war. And that is what the government of Bashar al-Assad was trying to prevent for 40, 50, 60 years. They were trying to prevent that.
And we have a picture right here. We have a picture right there of an entire village being massacred.
It's terrible.
And it says, when Israel defends itself, there's, global cries of, Israel being mean and a bully, not the.
Hey, move those routers there. Oh, hey, it's me, your data center. And as you can hear, I'm making some big changes in here because AI is making some bigger ones everywhere. So I took a little trip to Nokia. Super fast routers, optical interconnect, fully automated, the whole data center networking portfolio, and they deliver. That's them. Hey, Nokia, right on time.
Get your data center AI ready. Someday is here with Nokia.
Defending itself, but you see these guys massacring entire villages and nobody says a word. It's
no, and if you ask Europe, nothing is happening. Because Europe, remember, Europe today, the European Union, all the leaders of France and England and Spain and Italy, all those leaders, they were on board with it. Germany, all those leaders were on board with Biden. Okay? So they are still supporting this guy. They're democratic freedom fighters. They're the rebels. Okay, nobody dares to condemn them. Nobody dares to point the finger at them. The only one who is pointing the finger at them is the United States right now under Trump.
Yeah.
Okay, and Marco Rubio says something very powerful, and Elon Musk is tweeting against that. And I'm waiting to see what else does Trump says and what else does Trump do about this. But if you ask any leader or any foreign affairs minister in the European Union, all these dudes will say the same thing. All these are freedom fighters. They're fighting for freedom and democracy and whatever. Okay.
And there's Marco Rubio's statement. The United States condemns the radical Islamist terrorists, including foreign jihadis, that murdered people in western Syria in recent days. The United States stands with Syria's religious and ethnic minorities, including its Christian, Druze, Alawite, Kurdish communities, and offers its condolences to the victims' families, whatever. Yeah, so, Marco Rubio obviously, getting front and center on this, but nobody else is talking about it. The media's not touching it. It's very strange. I wonder why they do that. Why won't they mention it?
I mean, because they don't want to contradict themselves. They don't want to contradict themselves. They have been on board with Barack Obama for the last 10, 12 years, since 2011, with all this narrative. And Bashar al-Assad is a butcher, and all these guys are freedom fighters fighting for freedom and liberty. And now they are not going to come just because Trump won the elections, and they hate Trump, remember. They are not going to contradict themselves. Oh, no, we were wrong. Bashar al-Assad was trying to keep a coalition government with the Alawites and the Christians and the Shias, and these are the real savages. These are the real Al-Qaeda guys. These are the real butchers. They don't want to contradict themselves. They want to keep with the narrative. Again, the narrative that they have been saying for the last 14, 15 years. They're not going to change that.
And do you think money played a role in this?
I'm sorry?
Do you think money played a role?
Well, they could never have done this without American money, without Biden money. Yeah. I mean, again, these guys, they were training, getting armed, getting supply for years.
Wait, his mic just went away.
Yeah, no, they were getting supply for years and armed and trained in Turkey with the help of Erdogan from Turkey.
Yeah.
And obviously, most likely it was Biden who gave hundreds of millions of dollars to Turkey. It was a joint effort, obviously, all the money, all the cash. because Turkey is not going to push their own cash into this.
Yeah.
Okay, they give the land, they give the advisors, they give the terrain for them to train, to be a safe haven for them. But obviously, it was Biden money. Again, Biden continued with the same policies that he had when he was the vice president of Obama. So that's it. He continued. It was a pause, but back in 2016 when Trump won, okay, the elections. So there was a 4-year pause over there. When Biden came to become the president of the United States, then he continued with the same policies, and it was the same money that Obama gave them earlier. It's the same money that Biden gave them just very recently to arm these animals and train them so they can do the blitzkrieg they just did, the lightning offensive they did a few months ago and topple Bashar al-Assad and take the government. But these guys, these ex-Al-Qaeda and these ex-ISIS, they don't have nothing of X. It's bullshit. It's BS.
Yeah.
They are still the same ideology that they were last year. Okay, so they didn't change their ideology in 1 year just because Biden told them to do so.
Yeah, yeah. So what happens now? What's going to happen? Where are we now?
Well, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see what Trump says and Trump's do. That's important. Okay, Trump is the only one, and Elon Musk, God bless him, they understand this reality. Tulsi Gabbard understand this reality. I mean, you need to understand why the Democrats were so furious and so scared of two people, Kash Patel
Yeah,
and Tulsi Gabbard.
yeah.
Those were the two guys, the two people that the Democrats in Congress they were afraid of, that were giving nightmares to the Democrats and the liberal media. Those two guys, because one is going to clean the FBI. One is going to clean all the deep state and end with political prosecution and political investigations of right-wingers in the United States and clean all that deep state that James Comey left over there. That's why they were so scared of Kash Patel. But Tulsi Gabbard is a strong force for a very good, very reasonable, very educated foreign policy. She has been right since the very beginning. That's why she left the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
That's why she traveled to Syria. She traveled to Syria as a congresswoman to try to negotiate with Bashar al-Assad, to try to get into an understanding before Barack Obama declared total war against him. And that's why they hate her so much. And Tulsi Gabbard, an extraordinary woman, lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army Reserve, a powerful, beautiful, intelligent woman, amazing woman, the Democrats in Congress fear her because she had been right from the very beginning about Russia, about Syria, and she has a very educated, very smart foreign policy, and she denounced this. So let's see now. I'm waiting to see how Vance, Kash Patel, Tulsi Gabbard influence Trump in the right direction, and I'm waiting to see what Trump is going to do about these savages.
Yeah, we saw some videos that we can't put up where there were people lined up and these animals were shooting them in cold blood and blowing out their head, blowing out their brains live on video. And it's horrific. It's horrific. And I can't imagine that that Trump won't do anything. You know, at the same time,
let's wait.
At the same time, he's not
something very strong. Remember, we have some troops over there, and we have some troops in Iraq, and we have our Navy in the area, and the Navy can act anywhere in the theater. Okay, yeah. We want anything we want in the theater with our Navy assets over there. Okay, with the fleet. So I'm waiting to see what Trump does, but I really hope that he does something very soon.
Yeah, I mean, maybe drop a couple bombs or something, right? Throw some tomahawks or something. But I don't think we would get into a full-scale war because Trump does not want war with anybody.
I mean, it's not about war because remember, we don't have the troops to actually do a land war, to actually occupy Syria or occupy Damascus. That will be a major effort, okay?
Yeah.
And nobody wants to go involved into that mess.
Yeah.
That's a difficult mess of Remember what happened in 2003, 2004 in Iraq?
Yeah.
No, nobody wants that, and nobody wants to send 100,000, 150,000 soldiers over there on occupation.
Yeah.
But he can punish. He can punish them. Okay, he can punish them, and he can clear some villages, and he can all the convoys of all these animals. He can destroy them. Okay, so that's something that he can do, and he can send the message to the ex-terrorists in Damascus. Hey, control your people, or I'm going to kill your people. That should be Trump's message. Control them, or I will take care of them. I'm going to blow them apart. And right now, the only people helping these people escape the animals, the jihadis, are the Russians. You will not hear this in the press. The press will not mention this. But the Russians, they open their Navy base in Syria. They still have the Navy base over there, even though the current government wants to kick them out of there. They are not living anywhere. They kick us out if you can.
Yeah.
So it's not that easy. And they opened the gates of their Navy base, and about 20,000 people, refugees, came running into the base.
Wow.
That's the only way to save their life, because they know if they stay in their villages, if they stay in their houses, these animals will come and kill them all, and torture them all, and kill them all. So they are running, and right now, Russia is running a very large refugee operation inside their Navy base in Latvia, over there in Syria. So they need some help, and they are giving help and food and toilets and shelter to 20,000 people.
Hey, move those routers there. Oh, hey, it's me, your data center. And as you can hear, I'm making some big changes in here because AI is making some bigger ones everywhere. So I took a little trip to Nokia. Super fast routers, optical interconnect, fully automated, the whole data center networking portfolio, and they deliver. That's them. Hey, Nokia, right on time.
Get your data center AI ready. Someday is here with Nokia.
People who overnight came into their Navy base, but they are doing their part. The United States now needs to do their part.
Yeah, that's amazing. Hold that thought. We got to go to commercial break real quick, and we'll be right back.
I hear every day about the products you all wish MyPillow carried. Well, guess what? We probably do. Slippers, bathrobes, pet beds, blankets, mattresses, sleepwear, loungewear, duvets, comforters, pot holders, aprons, oven mitts, and so much more. And they're all on sale. For example, get our best-selling standard MyPillows for only $14.98. Body pillows, $29.98. 6-piece bath towels or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase, $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And I've never done this before. When you spend $100 or more, you're going to get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
And don't forget, use promo code IGH to get that 80% discount. And we're back with Ron Aledo. Ron, you mentioned Ukraine a minute ago and Russia and that whole debacle. You know, I just saw a tweet or a post on X that Elon Musk confirms that the cyber attack on X came from Ukraine.
It's very likely, yes. Yes, it's very likely, absolutely. You need to understand something. For the last, I will say 10 years, the United Kingdom, mostly MI6, have been giving hundreds of millions of dollars to the Ukrainian government to create cyber brigades, hackers, and to create propaganda troll army of trolls that they work, 24/7 in X. They work 24/7 in Facebook, in Instagram, just to deliver the propaganda with the help of the MI6, the help of the British intelligence.
Yeah.
They gave hundreds of millions of dollars, and they hire thousands of young people that speak many languages, okay, all major European languages, Spanish, Italian, French, German, obviously English, and that people have a full-time job thanks to the British intelligence, thanks to the United Kingdom. They have a full-time job today of just putting propaganda, of just hacking accounts, of just doing cyber attacks. And because Elon Musk, remember this, guys, remember this. Elon Musk, since many years now, have demonstrated that he have a very clear vision of what's going on in Ukraine and Russia, together with Vice President J.D. Vance, together with Tucker Carlson, together with Tulsi Gabbard. They all have the same vision, the same clarity of mind, together with Josh Andrew Napolitano, formerly from Fox News, a great guy, amazing, smart guy. They all have the same clear vision of what really is going on in Russia and Ukraine, not the propaganda BS that all the liberal media BS is trying to brainwash us with. So because of that, these troll armies and these cyber attack, hacker attacks, most likely will try to attack Elon Musk, because they know where the position of Elon Musk. They know that he's have a very good, smart, intelligent, educated position on that, on the Russia-Ukraine war, and they will try to attack in any way they can. So it's very, very possible, very likely, and I don't doubt Elon Musk's word for a second.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Mr. Producer, I just sent you a couple of posts on X on Syria. The second one also has a video embedded. If you can pull those up so Ronnie can walk us through these. That one, Syrian Christians showed unbelievable courage by raising their crosses despite persecution. Play that, will you? Look at that.
Yes. I mean, again, 10% of the population of Syria is historically, for thousands of years, Christian. I mean, they are the original Christians. I mean, these are the original Christians in Lebanon, in Syria. That was part of the whole Holy Land area, and these are the same. I mean, many of them, the Maronites, for example, they do their masses in Aramaic, in the language that Christ spoke. Okay, these are members of the Melkite Church. These members of the Greek Orthodox Church. These people have been there for 100 and 2,000 years. They have been unstoppable since the time of Christ. Okay, in the area, and this government, the Bashar al-Assad government, was a coalition government of Alawites and Christians and Shias and Druze. And these people now they are fighting for their life, and they are trying to listen. We're being attacked. We're being massacred for this democratic government, democratic mayas that Biden placed over there just a couple of months ago.
And go to the next one. It says Syrian government and SDF commander Mazloum Abdi strike deal to merge Kurdish region in Damascus. Right, and if you go below, there's a video, a 15-second video. That one. Click on that. There's all the gunfire. Look at all that gunfire that's going around. I mean, that's crazy, man.
You need to understand that Syria, that this guy doesn't really govern all of Syria. Syria is still breaking down in several parts. There are this government of Syria that is a radical Islamic Sunni government. There are Kurds areas in the north that are fighting against them and against Turkey. There are some Kurds that are now trying to make an understanding with the government. There are regions that are nominally only in theory, but there are pockets of jihadis that doesn't go with anyone, and they are independent. Okay, and they are the Alawites and the Christian areas that are trying to de facto separate because they are being killed by them and trying to defend themselves. So what we have here is a very complicated puzzle of different factions fighting each other, trying to survive. And also we have an occupied area of rebels that Turkey is directly supporting, and we have an occupied area that the United States governs, that the United States has over there in Syria, a small pocket, okay? So it's a very complicated puzzle of different factions fighting each other, trying to survive against each other. So it's not a unified government. That people have to understand that.
Yeah, no, man, it's a shit show, man. Like everything in the Middle East. I mean, I hate to say this, but the entire Middle East is melting. It's a disaster. I mean, we had the president talk about Iran over the weekend and saying that, Iran needs to be stopped from having nuclear weapons, or at least the ability to deliver nuclear weapons. And he's not taking any option off the table, including bombing the crap out of them, right? What do you think is going to happen in Iran? I mean, that's a complicated situation. It's all kind of tied into this whole mess.
Iran
right?
is a large, powerful country. Regional country. It's not a superpower or anything like that, but it's a regional power. And something very bad that happened to the Biden administration is that Iran was de facto in a very cold war, let's call it that way, with Saudi Arabia. Because Saudi Arabia, remember, they are the leaders of the Sunnis of the world. They are the Sunni power. And all the Sunnis of the world, they look into Saudi Arabia, they look into the king of Saudi Arabia, to the crown prince. Yeah. They look, because they are the protectors of the Sunni. And then Iran is the great protector of the Shias. Yeah. Remember, it says that there is a schism in the Muslim world, Sunni against Shia. Just like 5 centuries ago, that there was Protestant and Catholics, that there was a schism in Europe. So they are living today where Europe was, let's say, 500 years ago, this schism. And something very bad that happened to the Biden administration is that against the Biden administration will and against the globalist will, Saudi Arabia and Iran, they established diplomatic relationships thanks to China. China brought them together, China and Russia, they brought them together, and that was something, a very powerful blow to the Biden administration. Now what Trump is trying to do, he's trying to work a deal, the nuclear deal that Barack Obama worked, 10 years ago, but he's trying to work that deal with a lot more favorable positions and more guarantees that they are not going to develop a nuclear program. So that is basically where we are right now. We need to see what Trump is going to, if he's going to be able to work this deal, because right now they are very hard position, both sides. Okay, Trump wants to work this deal, a nuclear deal, but Iran obviously is tough to negotiate with. So let's see if they can establish. If they can establish this deal and they can work out some kind of deal and sign a deal, that will be very good for both countries, because that will reduce the tension and possible some kind of military escalation.
But Trump won in his first administration. He had Iran in a box, right? He had them boxed. He had them cut off. He had cut off their oil. He had taken their money. I mean, they were completely isolated and weak. And these last 4 years, you saw this resurgence of Iran. Do you agree with that, or not necessarily?
Well, Iran had been with sanctions for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Since Bush II, okay?
Yeah.
I remember Bush II since 2005, 2006, they began to put Iran under a lot of sanctions and a lot of economic war and isolation, okay? The thing is, it's very hard to put Iran into an isolation. Remember, Iran has diplomatic relations with many countries in Europe. And for example, Germany. They have diplomatic relations with Germany. They have diplomatic relations with many other countries in Europe. And that is a lifeline of support that gives them money and gives them reconnaissance. And also, you have China and Russia. And China and Russia, they are doing business with Iran, a lot of business with Iran lately. So that also is a lifeline. Again, there are some elements within the Trump administration that wants to have a very hard line against Iran, but that is very hard because Iran is 3 times bigger than Iraq, have a very large population, a lot bigger than Saddam Hussein's Iraq. I think 3 times, 4 times bigger the population. It's huge country. You have the support of all the Shias in the world, Yemen, the Shias in Lebanon, the Shias in Iraq. They support Iran. So it's very hard. And I think what Trump is trying to do, he's trying to show his cards and try to force a very good for the United States, very beneficial for the United States agreement with Iran, and re-sign the same deal that Obama signed 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But that's kind of shitty, but a good deal this time. I think that is Trump's.
Well, and Obama gave them billions of dollars in cash. Remember the billions of dollars in pallets of cash. So before that, they didn't have money. They were broke, right? And Obama gave them life. And that that's a problem because all that money was being used for Hamas and other bad elements. That's what I was saying. When Trump came in, he kind of put them in a box and isolated them. But Biden again kind of let them off the hook. And I don't know what's going to happen in that region, brother. But it's not good, right?
Well, right now, what is happening in Syria is terrible.
Yeah.
When I was in Iraq back in 2018 and 2019, it was still nobody's territory, okay? There was a very tense calm, let's call it that way. And when I say calm because there were still shootings every week. There were still mortars every week. There were Sunnis killing Shias and Shias killing Shias. And there was blood. Not very intense, low burn, but there was a lot of violence. And the Christians of Iraq, they're almost gone. They flee the area because they have no chance to survive. So many of the Christians of Iraq, they have to flee to Europe. They have to flee to many other places because it was not safe. They were being killed over there. Just 10 years ago, remember the Islamic State? They control all the northern part of Iraq, and they were doing a genocide over there, killing hundreds and hundreds of people, thousands of people. So it was very bad. Even when I was over there in 2019, it was very bad situation. It was not a massive genocide, but it was a slow burn of killings, of murders, of assassination, of slow combat and between the Shias and Sunnis and the government and the opposition. And depending on the area where you were very scared of going outside. I remember some of my guys one day when I was in some place that I cannot tell you, over there in Iraq, one of my guys got very sick. And I told him, hey, listen, we cannot really help you here, but listen, you are Iraqi, okay? So why don't you go outside the base and look for a medical doctor over there in the town? No, I cannot do that. Why not? Because if I go there and they know that I'm working here in the base, they kill me.
Yeah.
Okay, so that can tell you the state of affairs. And it's still like that. Sadly, it's still like that.
That's crazy. We're going to go to commercial break. We'll be right back, and I want to talk to you about your 5 tours in Afghanistan and Iraq and the Middle East, and what you've learned from that, and why you think that region be fixed, yes or no. But we'll be right back.
You're still looking good.
I'm still feeling good. I've got all your MyPillow products. Mattress topper, bed sheets, MyPillows, towels, slippers, blankets.
I'm interrupting this commercial to do something I've never done before. Get 2 MyPillows absolutely free on orders of $100 or more. I can't do this forever, so get on board with this great sale today. Our best-selling 6-piece bath towel sets or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Our famous standard MyPillows only $14.98. Queens $18.98. King size only $1 more. Body pillows $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase, $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale Giza Dream bed sheet sets. Any size, any color. So go to MyPillow.com or call that number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And when you spend $100 or more, get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
All right, and we're back. And don't forget, use promo code for everybody that follows us on podcasts and can't see. Use promo code IGH and get 80% discount on all the MyPillow products. You got to go for those. You get the free pillows. Our favorite in my house is a mattress topper. It's like sleeping on clouds. Do it. It's amazing. IGH promo code. And we have Ron Aledo back. Ron, so you've done 5 tours. You've obviously worked the Middle East, understand it like very few. Can that I mean, look, a lot of people say, just nuke it, turning into a parking lot, and we'll come back in 100 years. Can that region be fixed? Honestly, I mean,
it's very hard, and you need to understand that there is some balances over there that you need to keep. Okay, you cannot make, and this was the big mistake. And I say it, this was the big mistake of Bush II, okay? George W. Bush. He committed a great mistake in the area, okay? He tried to make Afghanistan and Iraq. But at least you can do something with Iraq. But he tried to make Afghanistan a New Connecticut, okay?
Yeah.
You cannot make New Connecticut of Afghanistan. Okay, that was nonsense, and I have to accept it. And again, 2 different visions, 2 different approaches, 2 different world views. Okay, I am a conservative. I'm highly conservative, but I consider myself a paleoconservative in the Pat Buchanan line. Okay, in the Tucker Carlson line. Okay. And when you look at the neoconservative, the globalist neoconservative like George Bush, God bless him, and John Bolton, and rest in peace, John McCain, they have a completely different opposite view. Oh, we're going over there with our guns and cannons, and then we're going to make this country New Connecticut, and that country is going to be New California, and in 5 years, this country over there is going to be like Switzerland. You will see, it's going to be like Switzerland, and everybody will be a paradise. The world doesn't work like that. Okay?
Especially that region, right?
In that region, you cannot make bomb a country, invest a few $1 billion, and expect that country to become Switzerland in 5 or 10 years. Okay, that's nonsense. Okay, and that is what the neocons, the globalists, doesn't understand.
Yeah.
You need to respect the boundaries. Okay, yeah, you need to kill and destroy whoever is an extremist, and kill and destroy whoever tries to kill you, and you need to bomb the shit out of them.
Yeah.
But then leave them alone. Don't try to impose your the values that we have seen here, or the values that, I'm not talking about the traditional Christian values. In some countries, thanks God, like Jordan, for example, and Syria, for example, before this terrorist, the Christians have a lot of freedom over there, okay, and respect. 6% of the population in Jordan is Christian, 10% of the population in Syria is Christian, and there was harmony. Let's call it that way. There was enough harmony to live together, okay? But all these values of the fake Europe, of the fake West, of the woke West, don't go over there and try to impose them, because that's only going to generate hatred and violence against you. And don't try to promote gay pride parades over there, and don't try to that's nonsense. Afghanistan, one of the most brutal backwards countries in the world, okay? I was over there in 2011, in 2012, 2014, 2015, okay? You cannot impose that. And I saw the fantasies of many people. Oh, this is going to be like New Hampshire soon. You will see. No, that's nonsense, okay? So that's the problem. Just leave them alone. Tell them, the governments, deal with them. Make sure that they give some freedom to the Christians, so they don't butcher the minorities, exactly what the Syrian government is doing now in Syria. But leave them alone. Just keep the peace. Just keep the associations and keep the coalitions. So, for example, you have seen that it worked many years in Egypt under Mubarak. Today is working with King Abdallah in Jordan and in the Gulf countries. The Gulf countries, Kuwait, Dubai, all these countries, many of these countries, even Qatar, they are working together in a productive relationship. But don't try to go over there and like in Afghanistan and try to build a society out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's impossible. It's just an utopia that is impossible.
Okay, well, with that said, I'm going to set you up here. Is Trump's idea of turning the Gaza Strip into a waterfront property and getting everybody out of there, that's unrealistic, right?
That's unrealistic, and the Arab countries, even very good friends of America, like Jordan or like Saudi Arabia, that have been friends for many years, or Kuwait or Egypt, they will not go on board with that. You need to understand something. There are governments right now, and this is what the American people don't understand, because I know not everybody can into this. Okay, I know you have family, you have businesses, you have the mortgage to pay and car payments to do. Okay, I know that most of the people don't have the time or the interest to understand this, but this is something important that most of the people don't understand. You see the government of General Sisi, for example, right now in Egypt, he is barely holding on. He has a very large, big, sunny, radical population, the Muslim Brotherhood, okay? And he has been trying to fight that for the last 10, 12 years, and Mubarak for the last 30 years before him, okay? And they have been trying to hold them down. And it's a very hard situation. It's a very hard task to keep these people. And the people of Egypt are putting great pressure on Marshal al-Sisi to go to weapons, defend the Palestinians, defend the Gaza. You see, it's a very large pressure on these people. And they don't want to do that, obviously, because they depend on the money of the United States. They want a good relationship with the United States. But they are between the sword and the wall, let's call it that way, because their internal population, they are not happy. And right now, they're trying to make a balance of what they can do and what they can say without isolating the United States. So it's a very hard situation. The same with King Abdallah in Jordan. I mean, one of the very few places where there is freedom and where there is success and where there is stability in the Middle East, but their population are putting the governments under great pressure. So that is something that Trump will have to play very carefully during the next years.
Yeah, man, I just don't see it. And everybody talks about this, right? We've been talking about this for decades. There's no solution to that region. That region has been at war for thousands and thousands of years, and I don't think they'll ever stop, right? I don't know, and the situation with the hostages and Hamas and everything going on with Israel.
Negotiate with the moderates, deal with the moderates, and what Trump needs to do is he have to deal with the extremists. Okay, he have to deal with the extremists. Okay, he have to show muscle, because right now what is happening in Syria is completely unacceptable. Okay, yeah. and he needs to negotiate with whoever have a brain and he can talk to. Okay, and whoever he cannot talk and doesn't want to talk. Okay, that's why we have the U.S. Air Force and the U.S. Navy to deal with.
Yeah, I agree with you, brother. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Nobody speaks it as clear or in as concise as you do. I mean, you know the region, you know the players, you know the countries, you know their leaders, you know the history. We need you back often. You know, we still have to set up a day for intelligence report. Hopefully we can do that, on an ongoing basis. And what do you want to close with, Ronnie? What are your closing remarks here?
Nothing. Let's hope and pray for President Trump. Okay, he represent hope. He represent, a new position from all the mud and all the terrible, conditions of the last 4 years under Biden. He obviously, he was terrible under Biden. He was nonsense under Biden. We were the laptop of the world under Biden. So now Trump have a common sense approach with amazing people whispering on his ear, like Vance, like Kash Patel, like Tulsi Gabbard, okay, like Elon Musk. So let's hope. Let's hope for the best, and let's hope that Trump does the right thing, and Trump have the audacity and the brains and the strength to do the right thing in the area and in the world too, also in Russia and Ukraine. And everybody who wants to follow me, please follow me in X, Ron Aledo, Exia Contractor, and in YouTube, Ron Aledo, Exia Contractor.
Awesome, Ronnie. I appreciate you, brother. You're the best. And we'll see you next week, man. Right?
Thank you. We'll see you.
All right, brother. Care. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Hopefully you got a history lesson, a geopolitical lesson, a military lesson into that region. Mr. Producer, I don't know if you have any more video clips that you want to show, or are we out? If you have any video clips, throw them up there so that people can see some of the atrocities. If you already showed them, then that's it. You got anything to show? No. Okay, so that's it, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. We have a very good lineup this week. And just tune in like you always do. You're boosting our numbers. We're ranked 187 out of over 4 million podcasts. And we've done it with you guys all organically, no paid promotions. And, we want to get into the top 150. So help us out, spread the word. Follow us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on iHeart, on Spreaker, on Podbean, Podchaser, Amazon Music, Audible, Pandora. I mean, we're everywhere. And if you want to watch the video, you know where to find us. We're on YouTube, and we're on Rumble under IGH Going Rogue. We'll see you tomorrow.